Welcome back to another TS Tera Plays Tera video. Today's video, I want to cover all the changes that Menma has decided to change in the 1.4 patch. The first thing I want to go over is Event Dungeon, along with some dungeon reworks. So, first off, Manglemire has been added to the game as an event dungeon for a limited time. The item level for Manglemire will be 485. You'll be able to enter this dungeon 4 times a day per character. And the rewards for completing this dungeon is some item XP, Vanguard credits, a 485 Vanguard reward box, some Agaia's tokens, a Greed Heads option change scroll token, some golden cryolites, and a Battle Pass token Manglemire. We'll go over the Battle Pass token just a bit with the Battle Pass changes. So the first thing I want to cover is Manaya's Core Hard. That dungeon's being renamed to the Plexus Hard, and the first and second boss are getting removed. Manaya is also losing her cocoon phase, so as soon as you go in, you'll just be fighting Manaya in her final form. Also, the HP of Manaya has been increased to 50.6 billion. Forbidden Arena Nightmare Undying Warlord Hard Mode, the HP has been increased to 53 billion. Sky Cruiser Hard Mode, first and second boss have been removed. Democron's Factory Hard, Vera and Prima have 45 billion health. Odon has been brought up to 72 billion health. Vimeo has been changed to 96 billion health. Rampaging Arcane 9. Arcane 9's health has been brought up to 42 billion, as well as the pylons will spawn as soon as the aggro and he hits 100% HP. This allowing players to hug the wall and you can get to the pylons basically before you start the fight. Ruinous Manor Hard Mode. First boss has been brought to 25 billion health, second boss is at 31.2 billion, and Laccolith has a flat 30 billion HP. Arcane 9 Normal Mode. The shields to Arcane 9 have been adjusted to 200 million HP, and the amount of Radiant Necklace materials is increased by 3. Corrupted Skyness Normal Mode, Kelsaeg's jump attack has been decreased by 33% damage, and again, the Radiant Ring materials have been increased by 3 times. Broken Prison and Ruinous Manor Normal Mode both have increased materials for the Radiant Jewelry, and again, it's increased by 3 times. Lilith's Keep has a small change. The Fire Spawn adds health is from 100 million, dropped all the way to 25 million. Dragon's Nest has been fixed, so you will not be able to queue it during the weekdays anymore. The instance matchmaking menu was displayed wrong, and people can queue it. They have decided to officially fix this and close it. You can only queue into the raid on the weekends like you're meant to. Just a fun tip. Some miscellaneous changes are that weekly entrances have been increased to 160, and if you don't have Terra Club, you'll be able to do 80 for nearly all dungeons. And as a Christmas little special, all the Forbidden Arena bosses got a little festive. So, be on the lookout to see some Christmas cheer. Now, let's go over some leaderboard adjustments. The biggest thing is, everyone knows leaderboards from their titles. Well, all the previous leaderboard dungeons and their titles that have been removed are getting fully removed. That means AAHM, Bahar Sanctum, Corrupted Skyness Hard Mode, Gossamer's Vault, Grotto of Souls, and Pit of Petrix will no longer have leaderboard titles in the game. As well as the statues in Highwatch that used to be Dracon's Arena leaderboards have been changed to Forbidden Arena Undying Warlord Hard Mode leaderboard. So now I want to go over some Battle Pass changes. First off, the Battle Pass is coming close to an end. For those that don't know, it does end on January 7th, 2023. And the developers, they want to do everything they can to help the community get last minute rewards. Now, in case you really want that power inner or magical inner, you know, they're trying to help you guys out here. And I appreciate that, because I still need to farm those out. So the first thing I want to go over is the Vanguard mission requirement. Instead of needing 5 Hunter Fragments, you'll only need 3 now. That's for Expert and Novice. As well as the Vanguard mission only being claimable once a day, that has been removed for both of them. You can claim it multiple times. So, some other changes are the rewards for the Vanguards. Previously, you were able to earn 250 Refined Mana Essence and 400 Luminous Mana Essence when completing the Expert Battle Pass Vanguard. Those have been dropped by 100, or to 100 I should say. The Daily Battle Pass Novice that you usually gave 200 Luminous Mana Essence has also been decreased to 100. I think it's fair. Easier to obtain them, you can obtain more, balances out. The thing that helps us out is that they've decided to change the Dungeon Group Expert missions. Instead of being able to have 3, you're now only getting 2 of those. But you still get 2 Expert Dungeon Mission tickets that you can exchange for whatever dungeons you complete. For the Dungeon Group Novice, you get 3 of each. So previously we only got 2 tickets of the Novice, now we're getting 3. So we can claim 6 Novice a day. As well as, since Mango Mire is an event dungeon, and I mentioned this earlier, Mango Mire every day can be completed twice as a Battle Pass mission, and it will give you 2 Expert tokens, and those are separated from the Expert missions and the tickets. So you can get a total of 6 from your Expert missions as well, being the fact that 2 of them are strictly Mango Mire. So now we're going to go into some PvE changes. Basically, the developers have wanted to do a lot of work with class balancing. I'm going to be honest, it's a lot of information. So if you want to go over specific stuff for your class, I'm going to highly suggest look at the patch notes. A lot of classes have had cooldown changes, increased damage, you know, quite a lot of reworks. So I'm not going to sit here and go through all of it. I'll have the patch notes linked into the, description of this video. The one thing I'll go over for my warrior mains though, if you are a warrior tank, we did get an extra buff with traverse cuts, called One with the Sword. Triggers on each successful hit of traverse cuts, and it grants you 3.5% extra damage to your party, not yourself. Your whole party, for each traverse cut stack, gets an additional 3.5% damage. And it lasts for 40 seconds and can be refreshed with the normal traverse cuts buff. And that's an addition. They haven't removed the old buff. It's an addition to traverse cuts. So, war tanks, rejoice. What I do want to go over this section is raid vibe buffs. The devs have been working very hard to make all party buffs now work as a full raid. So Mystic's Thunderstrike, Brawler's Resonance, Warrior Tank's Traverse Cuts, and One with the Sword all are now raid buffs. So when you're running Democron's Factory or Dragon's Lair, and those buffs give out, instead of it just being to the group, the whole raid gets it. Another thing to note is that Adrenaline Rush will not overwrite Traverse Cuts anymore. So, I think that's some great work. And, not that I have it listed, but let's go over the 1.5 and 2.0 map passives. One thing is that the 1.5s like to override the 2.0s in the original game, but Menma has decided to get rid of that, and now your 1.5 dragons will queue up and not activate until your 2.0 is completely done with, and then the 1.5 will activate. So now you can see I want to talk about world bosses. Menma has actually decided to add a whole additional Jewel Beetle world boss named Legia. You can find Legia in Valley of Titans near Arcadia. When you kill Legia, you get a chance of a treasure box reward that will potentially give you 100 rubies, 50 sapphires, 50% chance for 25 to 50 emeralds, and 50% chance for 5 to 10 diamonds. If you get the gold, silver, or bronze chest, you'll be rewarded with a small amount of emeralds, up to 16, and possibly up to 32 sapphires, along with a small item XP boost. Also, all rally bams have been brought from 5 billion to 10 billion health. Yes, I'm talking about Saberneck, Fragris, and Anasha. Now I want to go over some gathering changes as well as a new area that's been added. First off, gathering now will take 20 seconds. No matter what you're collecting, it'll take you 20 seconds to gather one node. But nodes will give you a guaranteed water lily, and they have a chance to give you gathering bags and Hydragia teleport scrolls. Now, Hydragia is the new named area that we'll go over in just a little bit. There's also 2 new NPCs that have been added, T-Chand and Varaz. T-Chand, for gold, you can buy crafting totems and you can buy gathering manuals. This all allows you to level your professions to master and increase your mining planning and energy levels. Varaz, you can buy a gathering tools, mounts, and Elenu's floral veils, but you can only buy them with gatherables and water lilies. This new zone is Serene's Garden and Hydragian. You can only access Hydragian by going through the Serene's Guardian teleport. But the way you go through that is you'll need 1 Elenu Flora Veil to enter, which can be bought from, like I said, Varaz. You can only buy 1 per day though, and you can only enter the area once per count per day. So, you might be saying, well, why? The thing is, this is a condensed area where you can gather all the nodes and no mobs chasing after you. No mobs spawn at all. So, no more trying to pick Copseed with pesky vampires running after you. There's been a lot of changes to fishing that I want to go over. The first thing is now that fishing is enabled in all fisheries. There's been a change on the limit of baits. You used to be able to hold 60, now you can only hold 50. And as for worm baits, you used to be able to hold 300, but now it's only 100. The plus side is that worm baits now apply a buff that lowers your auto fishing cooldown, by a specific amount of course. Worm baits also can be used in Exodor fisheries. Now, the upgrade to the fishing rods has been adjusted, and the active buffs to the fairy wing fishing rod has also been adjusted, as well as you can now get your fairy wing rod to 9 and 10. Big ass fish can be caught with auto fishing. There have been changes to the names fish fillet and karish fillet to sashimi and nigiri. Fish are now also dismantleable into various types of fillet used in cooking. And there's a new NPC in Highwatch that can teleport you to all the fisheries. And you don't need to complete the quest line to do this anymore, as well as there's an added teleport to go to Exodor fisheries. In addition, if you want, you can teleport around Exodor to the fisheries for a small fee. So now let's get into some amazing changes to crafting, which I know a lot of you are probably super excited about. The first thing I want to go over is that for all professions, the promotional tests have been changed due to many of changes in general. First off, there's been luxury craft kits added to crafting merchants, as well as all crafting skills can now go up to 1,200 for max profession. Now, let's cover all the professions by themselves. Alchemy changes. They've decided to merge the regiments and the additive powder into one. Also, diamonds will now give 25 skill per craft, but require luxury crafting kits. They've also decided to remove the evolution cords and add them to the specialty store. Smelting. Smelting has decided to have the change of beryllium just completely removed, as that item is just not useful anymore. They've also decided to remove gathering tools as they can't be crafted. But the fairy wing rod has been added to the list of craftable items, and there's also been an adjustment to the skill needed to craft fishing crates. Processing has also had beryllium just removed. Again, the item's not useful. They've also removed sharp and hard black horse shards from processing. With that though, the skill to need for crafting anglers, whiskers, and baits has been adjusted. Etching. There's been a removed of refined stones, as again, it's just not needed, but there's been a change in the skill to craft harmonious and balance, and all your etching grit sand dust powder at levels 2, 3, and 4. Cooking has had probably one of the most changes, and that is adjustments of the effects of fish salad, seafood mushroom salad, pickled verity root, and moon gourd pie. There's also new items added to cooking, and that is kamboku, taiyaki, cream of mushroom soup, fruit salad, apple pie, and cob seed pie. And there's been a change in the amount of skill needed to craft fruit wine, lean stark root beer, and apple moon smoothies. The last change to crafting is the brand new profession tailoring. Now, if you watched Menma's stream or you watched my reaction to it, you'll know quite a bit about this. But for those who didn't, tailoring is a brand new profession, as I said, that you can make your own cosmetics. With that though, you'll need to get tools from gathering to be able to craft these cosmetics. Now, the cosmetics are untradeable unless you crit or use a fluffy fiber. And you can obtain fluffy fibers by dismantling normal costumes and exchanging Merma's Deluxe Fashion Shop coins for them. Now, Exodor has had quite a few changes. There is, first off, an NPC in Highwatch that allows you to teleport right to Exodor. You can also now fly in Exodor without completing the questline, but if you want to use the jump access pads, you'll still need Azurite Elixir to do so. The Exodor Requirely stations will now be correctly loaded, but to access them, you will have to at least be on the first step of the Kaya's Anvil quest. Teleport stations have also been added to the northern and southern outskirts of Exodor. All main islands also have teleport stations. All fisheries as well have been given teleport station. Tera will also be coming out with this patch, but I will not be covering that in this patch note video. If you want to know more about Tera and all the amazing winter events Menma has, please stay tuned to Crack Gaming's website, where I will release a full article about all the information going on with the festive winter events. This patch has also released some new items and new faces. Within that, you can now get what's called tanning vouchers. You can purchase these through the ticket shops, or you can potentially get them through events. Basically, the tanning voucher allows every race to have 350 different types of skin colors. And as for the new faces, yes, Menma has decided to add a few new faces to change up how your characters look. Human females, Castonic females, and Ellens are all getting slightly different faces added to the game for you to customize your character however you would like. Alright, we are reaching the end of this video, and I want to thank everyone for making it this far if you have. There's been a lot that's been covered, and I gotta give a huge shout out to the Menma's team for making such an amazing large patch. At this point, I want to thank you all who have made it this far in the video. There's been a lot to cover, and there's still more in the patch notes that I haven't covered, that if you want to go see, again, the patch notes will be linked. Just general stuff, quality life, bug changes, and all the class changes. I also want to give a huge shout out to the Menma staff members that have been coming onto my YouTube channel and actually answering some people's questions that I can't. Again, if you guys have any comments or questions, feel free to ask. I'll do my best. You can also join the Discord. The link will be in the description of this video as well. That's about it. I hope you all enjoyed. If you liked, please go ahead and throw a like on the video. And if you like Tera content in general, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Also, super excited for boss pets coming soon. That's about it. See y'all in Aboria, gamers.